Welcome back to the Sustainability Imperative, our 3-day virtual festival. I'm Steve Clemens, editor-at-large of The Hill. Thanks for joining us for a session on impact investing and defining ESG. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Philip Morris International, for its support of this session. In this session, we're going to talk to policymakers and financial and sustainability experts to better understand ESG guidelines and the real impact of ESG investing. Before we get started, you can tweet us at The Hill Events using the hashtag The Hill Sustainability. I know it's a lot of letters. We're broadcasting live and we'll be taking your questions throughout the program. And if you experience any trouble with the live stream, just push refresh. That should fix it all. We begin with the sponsor perspective portion of the program. A short while ago, I spoke with Jennifer Modal, social impact and sustainability lead at Philip Morris International. Just a quick note, while I'm conducting this interview and the questions are mine, the content of this portion should not be considered editorial. Jennifer, thanks for joining us today. Look, ESG is a huge topic, and the notion that tobacco companies are involved in ESG is one in which there are contrasting views. But I know you've got a unique approach to it. Tell us how you approach ESG.
Sure, Steve. Thank you for the question, and thank you for having me with you today. I think, of course, when it comes to ESG and sustainability in general, tobacco is not really an intuitive match, and for obvious reasons. And I think that in order for our company, and actually any tobacco company, to be able to genuinely talk about sustainability and be part of the conversation, you really need to think about sustainability materiality and the exercise that is about candor and transparency of really mapping out those areas regarding environmental, social, and impact in general, and understand where is it that your company has those greatest impacts, and in a transparent way show exactly how is it that you're addressing them. So I think that compared to perhaps other industries or other companies, tobacco may have it as a more uphill battle because it's a more controversial issue. But nonetheless, I think that if a company like ours is genuine and transparent about where is it that we have our greatest impacts, and very concretely showcase what is it that we're doing to address them, then I think that being part of that conversation can only help contribute, make the world a better place.
Well, thank you for that. And what is the role of the investor community when it comes to your ESG horizon?
Yeah, I think that when you think about the investor community and companies, I think it's twofold, right? I think that many companies are still stuck in this idea of cost saving and risk mitigation. And although these are wonderful things when you think about ESG as an input into strategy, and all companies should be doing them, and we are doing them as well, very few have moved into the space of thinking about sustainability as an opportunity for innovation and growth, which is what we are doing as we transform our company completely. Understanding sustainability as a real engine for innovation and growth means that we're thinking about providing solutions to problems that business have created. So I think on the investor side, most investors say that they're using ESG data or that they have ESG products, but actually most of them, what they're basically doing is performing negative screening. So excluding companies with controversial issues or excluding whole industries. So I think, in my opinion, if you ask me, that's not really capturing the power of the process in terms of how do you actually make change happen. So I think that the final destination should be in a functional way that is maximizing the potential. You will have an investor community that is looking deeper into the data that companies are producing and the disclosures that they're sharing, and engaging on those topics to really understand either how can a company do more or do better to actually improve the impacts that they have on society, on the environment, or on the consumer.
Jennifer, just finally, I've interviewed your CEO, I've interviewed your COO, who is about to become your new CEO, and we've talked about the shift of Philip Morris International from smoked products to unsmoked products, and how, in the very near term, more than half the revenue of the company is going to be in unsmoked products. Now, I don't think most of the public
generally is aware of that. They may be, some may be, but I'm wondering, I know that this is part of the commercial direction of the company, but it also, I think, may fit within the ESG conversation. Does it for you?
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up, because you are absolutely right. I don't think that our company, or frankly speaking, any tobacco company, would be able to genuinely talk about sustainability if the impact of the product was not at the core of the strategy. And this is the case for us. So we, as any other company, have mapped and understood which are the greatest impacts that we have related to ESG, but we know that first and foremost, the biggest impact that our company has comes from the product that we sell. And so the best thing that we can do is actually innovate for better alternatives than continue smoking, and making sure that these products in the international market eventually completely replace cigarettes.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your candid views and for supporting today's conversations.
Thank you so much for having me, Stephen. It's lovely to meet you.